Hey everyone, let's talk about something you probably walk past every single day without a second thought. The walls in our offices, our schools, our hospitals. Today, we're going to break down a much smarter, way more sustainable way to think about large-scale wall graphics. This goes way beyond just making a place look nice. Let's get into it.
Look, the whole conversation around branding has changed. It's not just about a cool logo or a catchy slogan anymore. It's about being real. And as this quote makes crystal clear, being credible on sustainability, that's a non-negotiable part of your brand value today. Every single thing people see, right down to the walls, has to tell that same story. I want you to really think about that for a second. Your corporate headquarters, your campus, that clinic waiting room, those walls are talking 24/7. So are they telling a story of being forward-thinking and responsible, or are they hiding a less than flattering story about waste and inefficiency? Yep, that's right. Your walls have a job to do, a big one. They're not just holding up the ceiling. They're shaping first impressions, helping people find their way, and, most importantly, they're a massive, visible billboard for what your organization truly stands for. They're one of the biggest assets you have for communicating who you are. So, if our walls are that important, why are we so often losing old school, frankly, wasteful methods to brand them? Let's pull back the curtain and really look at the true cost of traditional wall graphics. We're talking about the environmental, the financial, and even the operational headaches that are often completely overlooked. Okay, so this is the vicious cycle we're talking about. The problems with vinyl just stack up. It starts with a huge carbon footprint just to make the stuff. Then during installation, you've got all this wasted material from scraps and leftovers. Sooner or later, those seams start to peel and you have to replace it. And getting off the wall, it's basically a demolition project that just sends a mountain of plastic to the landfill. It's just a constant, expensive cycle of waste. And when you put the two methods side by side, wow, the difference is night and day. On one side, you've got the old way. Layers of plastic, vinyl, paper, messy glues creating tons of waste at every single step. And on the other side, a completely different philosophy. The only material is ink. Waste is practically zero. And when you're done with it, you just paint right over it. The contrast couldn't be more clear. So, this brings us to the better way. We've laid out all the problems, so now let's talk about the solution that solves every single one of them: direct-to-wall printing. This is where innovation steps in with a surprisingly simple and elegant answer. So, what is this exactly? Well, it's pretty much what it sounds like. We're talking about a specialized printer that puts a perfect high-res image right onto the wall you already have. Doesn't matter if it's drywall, brick, or concrete. But the most important part is what it gets rid of: all the plastic films, the wallpaper, and those nasty chemical glues. You're just using the asset you already own, the wall itself. So, this is the first huge win. By printing directly on the wall, you completely take PVC plastic out of the picture. Gone. That immediately slashes the carbon footprint of your project and stops a major source of landfill waste in its tracks. Second, and this is just as important, no adhesives. That means you don't have those chemical smells, the off-gassing of VOCs, which is so much better for your indoor air quality. It also means that when it's time for an update, you're not facing a nightmare of scraping and sanding chemical goop off your walls. And third, this is the kicker. There is virtually no waste. I mean, look at this. The printer only applies the ink it needs for the image, exactly where it needs to go. That means no rolls of backing paper, no edge trimmings, no ordering extra just in case. It's a total shift from a system built on excess to one that's all about precision. All right, this is where we need to put on our strategic hats. The smartest sustainable choice is almost always the smartest economic choice, if you look at the whole picture. We have to stop looking at just the upfront price tag and start thinking about the total cost of ownership over the entire life of the graphic. Let's follow the money here, because this chart tells a really clear story. Traditional vinyl hits you with high costs for materials and shipping right away. Then come the repair costs when seams start to fail. And finally, you get hit with massive costs on the back end for removal and landfill fees. But with direct-to-wall printing, you see savings at every stage. The install is faster, there are no seams to repair, and a refresh is just a simple paint over. Okay, so we know it's efficient, we know it's cost-effective. But here's the million-dollar question for big organizations. Does it scale across an entire enterprise? The answer is a resounding yes. And this is how it plugs right into those high-level corporate goals. For any organization that's serious about its environmental and social governance goals, this is just a no-brainer. This process directly supports huge green building standards like LEED and WELL because it cuts material use way down and gets rid of harmful chemicals. It fits perfectly with sustainable purchasing policies, and it helps you take a real bite out of your Scope 3 emissions, the ones from your supply chain, by reducing manufacturing and shipping. And what's it like to actually get this done? Is it a big, disruptive mess? Absolutely not. The whole workflow is designed to be as quiet and clean as possible. After a quick check of the wall, the printing itself is low dust and very quiet. There are no lingering chemical smells from glue, so you can have your space back up and running in a matter of hours, not days. For a busy hospital or a school, that's a total game changer. So we end right back where we started, but now with a totally new way of looking at it. Your walls are valuable pieces of real estate. They are assets. So the question you have to ask yourself now is your current approach generating real, long-term value for your brand, for the people in your buildings, and for the planet? Or is it just quietly creating waste? The choice, I think, is clearer than ever.